Well, hello everybody. So I finally finished my latest book, which is biographical. It is essentially my grandmother's wartime diary from 1943 to 1945. It's kind of a companion book to my grandfather's letters, his journey on his LST from D-Day to Okinawa. Um, this is another work that I'm very, very, very happy with, and very proud of. It came out beautifully. It absolutely came out beautifully. My grandmother was quite an interesting person. These people from this generation are not at all um, like anything that we see today. This woman was absolutely amazing. These were the people who kept the World War II home front going while all the men were gone. And uh, this was a pretty moving thing to do, actually. And I never knew her because she died in 1965, 4 years before I was even born, so I never knew her. I never knew my grandfather either because he died in 1956. So everybody was dead by the time I was born, so I never knew her. So when my mother died, another death, I inherited all these, all these journals and letters and photographs and albums and all sorts of beautiful things. And I really, after looking through everything, I really wanted to do something with all of this stuff. I wanted to get to know them and, of course, bring them back to life for myself. And by creating these books of their lives, these pieces of their lives, I feel as though I've brought them back to life. And I hope, of course, that other people would like to, read about something from our history, not just American history per se, but world history, I guess you could say. What was going on while my grandfather was over in D-Day and everything else that he did, what was going on with his wife, his would-be wife. He wasn't married, they weren't married yet. He didn't get married until 1946, after the war. This was a very moving experience. This is another book right there with my grandfather's books. My writing has changed a lot because a lot of the work that I've done has been poetry. That's probably the biggest thing I've ever done in my writing career, so to speak. Not like I have a career from it because I don't make any money really. Nobody buys books nowadays. Everybody says, "Oh, support the arts and support little business and support all that." Nobody does. I'll be surprised if anybody even watches this video. Nobody buys anything. Everybody wants, Netflix and they want iPhones, but they don't want to spend money on books. Especially a person like myself who self-publishes his work because that's just the way I do things. I just prefer to do this myself. Actually, every aspect of this book and every aspect of every book that I've done is pretty much entirely done by me. I have two books that have back covers that were done by somebody else. One was an artist, or a friend of mine, who painted a picture of me when I was young, and that's on the back of Generation Mess. And then the photograph on the back from the tree was taken by my mom, way, way, way back. But other than that, everything, like in this book, of course, I'm doing essentially a transcription of her diary. But all the work, the editing, the formatting, the cover, the back cover, etc., etc., etc. Everything was done by me. Every one of my books is done entirely by me. I have no team of editors or proofreaders or any of that. I have to do it all. And I think that people don't realize the amount of energy that goes into and the amount of effort that goes into creating books. Especially when you've done it yourself. I worked at a publishing house for a while. I worked for Fiction Collective too, as an intern. And of course, we had teams. We had a team. We had a person who did proofreading, and another person who did proofreading, another person who did reading for the of the manuscripts that would come in to be published. Blah blah blah. This is totally different. This work took me off and on over about 5 months to get completed, and actually, that's quite a while for me. I was able to take a week vacation from my work, and I was able to sit down every night. I had 9 days off, and I worked on this 8 days out of 9. And I'm talking hours. I sit down at the computer 4 or 5 hours every day, every night working on this manuscript until I was completed. And then it just finally got published. I actually kind of timed it right. I published this on Mother's Day, May 12th of 2024, just recently. Here it's been published. There was an error with the back cover. The text on the back cover was too close to the bleed area, and so this is a proof copy actually, so I had to redo the back cover. That's been fixed. I have not received my newest proof copy. It is on its way. I'm hoping to get that soon. What I really wanted to do today, though, is just simply read the foreword to give an idea of the experience I had while writing this book. So I'm going to go ahead and read the foreword, and I hope that everybody, if anybody's interested, if they pick it up, that'd be great. Again, I do these things really because I love the written word and I love the process, and I always feel as though I'm actually getting something done rather than just simply existing, or working or whatever. Which I love my work too, my teaching, what I used to do, what I do. So I'm going to read the foreword. After working on this book and the book on my grandfather and his journey in World War II, I realized that in the end, one's existence is just a simple chance. It is a conglomeration of choices going back years, decades, centuries, millennia. Without the randomness and chaotic energy of chance and the whole free will apparatus, one realizes that the choice of a Donnie White as a fiancé or the random chaos of a bullet hitting my grandfather at Normandy could have changed the tale, whether willed or random, and thus imparts the truth that the possibility of anyone's existence, this ability to interact and perceive, is all chance and oh so slim. I proverbially digress. It is not funny that I now know my grandparents, who were way dead before I was here, better than I ever have, and that is the result of the fact that my mother is quite dead, in a plastic box on my papa's mantel. And of course, I cannot ask her any questions about the questions I have. Okay, so swell, as Hilda would say. Lots of questions never to be answered. Fill in the blanks yourself. The realizations are abundant. The only permanent thing is impermanence. Your existence is as improbable as your non-existence when you exist. So swell. And nobody lives through history. It is just what is going on beyond our control. Don't romanticize that idea. It is just where you are at in time. That's all. And if there is an evil cabal running the world, you will not stop them. Just live your life, because it always ends the same. But while going on, it seems so urgent, so important, even if it is neither. So a hot roast beef sandwich and a malted at Brennan's is as good as it gets. To believe otherwise is to believe in permanence over impermanence, which we all know is an illusion. So swell. Enjoy this regression to another time long gone. This journal was passed to me by my mom 3 days before she died on a horrible Thanksgiving day in 2022. Plastic boxes with plastic lids covering the turkey looking like cold cuts and enough dinner for the 3 guests who did not show up to see her. But she said, take it. Told me where it was in her office. And she told me with that urgency that we all have about our existence. After her death, I inherited a deluge of documents that belonged to my grandmother Hilda and my grandfather Richard. And I wrote his World War II story from his letters. Hilda's journal sat for a long time inside the plastic bag my mother had kept it in, but after meeting him, I wanted to meet her. And I wouldn't know them, as I said, without my mom's death. So swell. Insights and more questions are what arose from this work. But some questions, just enough, are answered by my Grandma Hilda. Just enough. And there it is, Grandma Hilda's wartime diary. I always use the term journal, even for my own diary. So that's why I use that term, but it was actually a 5-year diary, and that's what I inherited. A line at a time. If you can read that. It's a condensed comparative diary for 5 years. No day without a line. Anyway, I hope if you're interested, you can pick up Grandma Hilda's Wartime Diary 1943 to 1945 on my Lulu page. I'm very happy with this work. The proof copy, the corrected proof copy should be coming in sometime, I hope, this week. and but it is available for purchase. If you're interested in purchasing it, there is a discount code. I think it's Showbiz15 or something along those lines. I'll put it up in the link for the if I put this on Facebook or whatever. And if anybody's actually interested in reading something that I'm very proud of, this is my eighth work in the last year and 5 months. So actually, since my mother died, I've completed 8 works. So if you feel like supporting a small business or a independent artist, writer, then pick up my books. And either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the foreword. And if anybody does pick up the book, that would be cool. That'd be great. All right, everybody. That's all I have to share tonight. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, day, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope it's wonderful. And Alvarado.